And no, simple and easy. Simple and easy. Now, and I really mean this for you and anybody else looking at this list. You can do it either way. Difficult, struggling, hard, which many people choose because they're so conditioned to it. It's implanted in here. They automatically equate success with struggle. There's a word phrase that you use: no pain, no gain, and people believe it. They shake their heads. Absolutely. What if you could not have no pain in your working out and have a perfectly fit body? Well, that's not possible. No, you have to work hard. Well, you take that same analogy into regular life. So many people feel they have to struggle. They have to do it the difficult way. Particularly for you, Shambra, in this year, there are intense energies. They can be grand, beautiful, wonderful experiences. And you can either do it the easy way, the efficient way, or the hard way. It's not predetermined. It's totally up to you or any other human who would see this list. It doesn't have to be difficult. Some of you, and I'm not looking at anyone, are still doing it the difficult way. And you don't have to, and I'm amazed sometimes. The funny thing is I'm truly not trying to single anybody out. Caldra is worried that I'm looking at somebody in particular. I'm looking at all of you. Sometimes we have these long arguments, private arguments between us. And I say, why don't you just do it the easy way? Well, yeah, but I can't, and they said that, and that's going to... I go, wow, you are really picking the tough way. There's no reason for it. The energies are intense, but they're not bad. They're not angry energies. They're not suffering energies. They're not a big load on your shoulders. I get a kick when I started saying the energies are going to be intense this year. Huge potentials coming in. Some of you are just like, oh, cringing and feeling it energetically on you. They're not. They're wonderful energies. They're amazing energies. And they're very simple. So, the environment, but the new energy is so different. I don't even want to try to describe it in detail. Adamus will do that later. I just am asking you to be open to it. Particularly in some of these issues that are facing you in your life right now, that have just really got you down, really got you frustrated. Now, take a moment to look beyond that frustration. You blame it on some of the individual things that are happening in your life right now. But that frustration is really your consciousness and your spirit wanting to open up, wanting to experience in a different way. And it can. It can. Here's the challenge. It might mean letting go of the illusion, of the old illusion. It might mean letting go of some of those things that you've been holding on to so tightly. Some of the old ways of doing business that you've had. And this can be frightful to the human illusion. It doesn't want to let go until it has some assurances. But this is where you come in. Your trust. Your trust not in anything on the outside, but your trust in yourself. Your ability to trust at such a deep level, knowing that it does work out. Now that's a little bit frightening, because part of the old energy conditioning is to always trust someone else. Always lean on somebody else that it's going to work out. But here in this new consciousness, you are being asked to trust yourself. To trust this leap that you're taking into new energy, which is almost undefinable. To take the leap into new energy that doesn't work anything like the old energy. to take this leap into a different way of experiencing life, experiencing yourself outside of the old illusion. Now, quite a few Shaumbra who have allowed this to some degree, and they will be the first to tell you, just do it. Just take that trust. Just take that leap. You have nothing to lose except the illusion of what you had before. They're amazed, and they would tell you, as I am telling you, it is so infinitely simple, so delightfully easy, that it's hard. Part of the old duality conditioning makes things hard. That's part of your illusion. Make it hard to make it real. You see, the new energy, it is so easy that old part of you is going to deny that it can be done that way. It's going to resist it because it wants to make it difficult. But remember, you are the sovereign being. You can choose easy. You can choose to take that leap. You can choose to trust yourself.
I changed my life. I stopped being a Christian. The best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, no.
Don't talk to my parents about it.
Could I ask a question? How does one stop being a Christian?
Do you
just sign a paper? I'm no longer a Christian?
Well, it's a big deal.
Right.
I held on to it for another 10 or 15 years beyond. It's a huge deal.
Why?
Because that's how we grew up.
Yeah. But to be a Christian in the first place, what did you have to do? Qualify.
Believe in Christ and do all the things that
Well, believe in Christ. I mean, what it's like, what's there not to believe in?
Well, I don't know. I grew up that way, and we were ingrained. It was hard to give up. So
yes, it is, by the way.
I've been on this journey for 4 years.
Yes.
And
is this another Christian journey?
No, I don't think so. But I feel like, okay, so
Let's
this is my question.
Stop right
this is
there.
my question.
We'll get there.
I have tried so hard to be divine inside.
Yeah.
And I'm in chronic pain.
Sure.
And I don't know if, why is it physically coming out that way? I'm trying to be so...
You said it. You right before you said you're in chronic pain. I am trying so hard.
Not to be in chronic pain.
But you are trying so hard for your divinity. It's nothing about trying hard, my dear.
Why does it come out in pain?
Because you're trying so hard, because you're still carrying around the old Christ. Get Jesus off the cross.
Right.
Yeah. And yourself. It hurts being up there.
But
it really does.
Why the pain is
tried it
coming.
one time.
I'm trying, you would have thought years ago when I was living in this bondage of beliefs.
Right.
And
stop right there.
Okay.
Are you not now?
I thought I wasn't.
Well,
I just
some of these things go so deep. You said it, and that's what I love about you, all of you. You say it, but you don't realize it. It's right here, but it's missing. Jesus.
Not Jesus.
You said it. It's right here, but you're missing it. I'm working so hard at my divinity. Why? This isn't a Christian church here. This isn't a synagogue. This isn't a mosque.
But, okay,
we don't try
now
hard.
I know what I want.
You didn't hear what I said, and that's so indicative. Oh. We don't work at it. We don't work at our divinity, our enlightenment, our realization, because it's natural. It's only when one considers it unnatural do they work at it. When they don't consider themselves worthy, then they work at it. When you stop working at all of it, including fighting your own beliefs, including fighting yourself and Christianity and everything else, when you simply allow, my dear, when you just allow, it'll be like a storm, a torrential hurricane storm coming over you at first, but to clear you, that's all. And you don't work against the storm, and you don't try to figure the storm out. Why did Jesus send the storm? And all the rest of that, you just allow. Because this thing of realization is absolutely natural. Your body wants to have this. But in a way, there's still a resistance because of old implants that say, no, the body, it's not, the body does bad things. I mean, it fornicates and it does, that too, it does all those things. So you have all these things and you're trying to figure them out. You're trying to make logic of them. You don't have to. So if you choose right now in this moment, you can stop all the trying, all the effort, all the, what am I doing wrong? Not a thing. What's here and what's missing at the same time? What's here is the natural state of realization, divine human. What's missing is you allowing it. Stop thinking. No, I'm so serious.
Okay.
This isn't the path anymore. You came along a path up to a point. No path.
Okay.
No path. It's just you receiving.
Well, I've been doing the I exist every morning.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to challenge you on that.
You told us to do it.
Go ahead. Go ahead and stand up. But I hear you doing the I exist. And then you add things onto it, my dear. I hear you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, Jesus. It is about the I exist is just that. I exist. Shut up. No more, I exist to be abundant. I exist because that's it. I exist.
Wow.
That's it. I exist. And until you feel that and you're having a absolute mental, physical, spiritual orgasm all over the place, you haven't gotten it yet. I exist because today's sunny. I exist because, shut up. you know exactly what I mean.
So I add it to it every single day.
Absolutely, and let's get. I exist because I used to be a Christian and I still am. What? I exist. I listen sometimes. I scream. Don't do that. I exist. Okay. I exist, and until you absolutely, it shakes in your body and tremors in your mind, and you feel it like an absolute sensual orgasm. Stop all the other crap with it. It's I exist. I exist. It's too simple for you, maybe. What's here and what's missing? I exist. It's here, but you're missing it because you have to put all these things, other things on it. I exist. And then it becomes a feeling. It's not logical. Doesn't make sense in a very crazy world. But once you get it, once you feel it, that's it. You're home. Take a deep breath. One more. Always take a deep breath. It's that easy. Second one, the E. E is for ease. Ease. If you're finding that there's a lot of struggles in your life, you're finding that everything is difficult and challenging, you're doing it wrong. You really are. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be intense, that you're not going to feel energy, but it doesn't have to drag you down, doesn't have to drag down your bodies, like we saw this month in so many of you. What is with all of these ailments you're suddenly getting? Body aches and pains this month more than ever. This is because you're making it difficult. It's challenging. Yourself is trying to tell you it should be with ease. If it's not, stop, take a deep breath, and do it differently. Nobody said that you have to suffer. Well, your parents said you did, but nobody else said you had to suffer. The angels, Spirit, Yeshua, any of them will say you don't have to suffer. Do it with ease. You'll find how amazingly easy it can be, particularly if you're back in the breath, you're back in yourself. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to make it easy on the people around you, and they're the ones who are often pulling you down, making things difficult, giving you the challenges. They may continue in their consciousness and in their way, and that's fine. But for you, with the things in your life, the things you want to do right now, it should be done in ease. If it's not, stop. Do it a different way. Some of you take a certain kind of sadistic joy in having things difficult. You subscribe to this theory, no pain, no gain. And it's not true. It should be with ease. More ease, more breeze. It keeps things moving. It keeps the energies expanding. Yes, you can put that on a bumper sticker. But, dear Shambra, if it's not with ease, stop, take a breath, do something fun for a little bit, and then approach it from a completely different way. It should be with ease.